especially if I'm doing a brunch instead of like breakfast and lunch. I wanted to unbox my New Balances with you guys. It's dinner time, and since it's fall, it is soup season. That is so stunning. This is their super chocolatey chocolate chunk. Good morning. Welcome to my what I eat in a day video. I'm quickly making breakfast right now, and I'm gonna make myself some breakfast tacos. I know that I've kind of like shown you guys on here before, but I don't think I've actually walked you guys through how I make them. So I've got some cheese here, some egg whites. This one's running low, so I grabbed the other one. Then some taco tortillas. I like to use flour. You can do corn if you want, but I just personally have never been a corn tortilla fan. But I'm just gonna heat up these tacos really quick. I just turned the George Foreman on, so I like throw them in there while I'm letting that preheat. But if you guys have never seen one of my what I eat in a day videos before, basically I just kind of do these more for meal inspo. I'm not necessarily positioning this as like a what I eat in a day to lose weight or anything like that. I've really been eating kind of intuitively lately anyways. The only thing that I kind of really do try to focus on is getting in a decent amount of protein. I don't track my protein anymore, but I just try to be mindful of making sure that there's some protein in every meal that I'm eating. But I can tell you, back from when I used to track, this breakfast is super high protein. So I'm gonna get the eggs working, and I've been liking doing scrambled eggs in a saucepan. It's just easier to kind of like scramble them as I go. But I'm just gonna take the egg whites as well as this Kinder's taco blend. This taco blend is so good. It's literally the best. Back when I used to do turkey tacos for lunch, that was the seasoning that I would use. It's so good. But basically, I'm just gonna kind of like keep whisking this. Oh my god, I never seasoned. So season the eggs. I don't like to go too much on this, but I like to be a little bit generous. And then I'm just gonna basically kind of like keep an eye on this and keep whisking until it starts to solidify, and then it'll essentially become scrambled eggs. Tortillas should be good, perfect. I don't want them like too cooked. Now that it's preheated, I'm gonna do one hash brown patty and then one of these Trader Joe's breakfast sausage patty. Then the eggs are done, and since I have the tortillas ready, I'm gonna go ahead and start building my tacos. Just trying to split the egg evenly between the two. And then we go in right away with the cheese. That way the cheese gets like nice and melty in here. So while everything's working, I'm gonna get started on my coffee. You guys know I always use the Natural Bliss vanilla, but lately I've been combining it with this Chobani pumpkin creamer, and I did say in a previous vlog that I preferred the Trader Joe's one, but I realized I've actually grown really accustomed to the Chobani one, so I refilled it. After drinking this one, I just feel like the Trader Joe's one is too light in the pumpkin flavor. I want something just like a little bit more flavorful and a little bit more sweet, so the Chobani one has been my go-to. I just realized I forgot the collagen, so I'm just gonna pop it in here while it's foaming. Then for the milk in my iced coffee, I like to use the Trader Joe's oat beverage with pea protein just because it's a little extra hit of protein. I think I do about like half a cup, which I think is like 4 extra grams of protein. So not a ton, but every little bit counts. Frothed milk is ready. Pour it right in. And for my espresso shots, I'm going to do this one. This is the Chiaro. It's a double shot, and then I do a third shot, just a single shot of the Altisio. So I diced up some fresh tomato that I'm going to throw onto the tacos. If we had pico de gallo, I think that it would go really well with this, but I just never finish up the pico de gallo before it goes bad, so I just do fresh tomato instead. Then just a little hit of salt and pepper. And espresso shot number 3. So the hash brown patty and the sausage are done. The sausage is sticking to the top, so that's how you know it's done, guys. There we go. And then the patty, oh my gosh. And then I'm just gonna dice up the sausage and add it into the tacos. Then finishing off both with some cilantro. I'm just gonna tear it because I'm lazy. And that's breakfast and how I make my breakfast tacos. I really love these on days where I need something filling, especially if I'm doing a brunch instead of like breakfast and lunch. This meal is definitely good for that because it's just so filling, and it is relatively easy and quick. It just gets a little hard because I'm usually trying to make my coffee with it. But also, if you like things like chipotle aioli and things like that, I think that that would go really good in this. I am not a fan of those types of sauces, so I leave mine pretty plain, but yeah, I think a good salsa, some crema if you have have some, I would actually really love that. We just don't have any. Or like a spicy aioli or something would be amazing in these. So essentially what I showed you guys is probably a really, really good base to start. Then add whatever extra spices and fun stuff you would like in yours. Sorry if I was a little bit rushed earlier. I actually had a meeting I was trying to get on, but I needed to eat, and since I was shooting a what I eat in a day, I was like, shoot, I have to film it. So I was rushing through filming because I wanted to have enough time to actually like eat the tacos before I got on my meeting. But we're just chilling now. No more meetings for the rest of the day. Before I head to the gym, I wanted to unbox my New Balances with you guys. Moved you guys so I could prop you up a little bit higher for this, but I got in New Balances. I saved a little bit of money and got the big kid size, but I've always wanted 550s, and for the fall, I decided I wanted to get a pair, but I didn't want just like plain white or like a lighter shoe. I wanted something with some dark touches. So I found this pair in the kids section, and I thought it would be kind of like perfect for what I'm looking for. But here is what they look like. For anyone not familiar, the New Balance 550s are like a basketball shoe, so they're a little bit flatter, but I love basketball style shoes. But it's got these like black and gray details, which I thought would be so great for fall. It still makes these feel like a crisp sneaker, but just like with some darker touches and finishes for the season. For my size, I'm normally a size 5. I can fit a 5.5, but normally a 5, so I got a 3.5 because I did see on their website people were saying not to size up in this. Usually when I do kids shoes, I will go up a half size because I think it's like, especially Nike, I feel like the kids shoes run a little small and a little bit narrow, so I always go up a half size in Nike Kids. But for New Balance, it said to make sure you stay true to size because even then they can run just like a touch big. So I went with size 3.5, but let's try this on. I don't have any socks here right now, but I'm not wearing these out the door, so please don't get all crazy about the fact that I put these on without socks. These are not workout shoes. These are hopefully going to be walking shoes. I've heard that the 550s are pretty comfortable for walking, so I'm just going to kind of break them in over the next week. But kind of interesting, I didn't notice the toe design here has a little bit of a slant. I think that's really interesting, kind of like a cool design detail. It gives it something a little bit extra. Oh yeah, these are a perfect fit. There's even just like a little bit of room, so when I have socks on, it'll probably be an absolute perfect fit. Here's what they look like on. These are cute. Like I said, I wanted something just like with a little touch of dark, but I am more of a white sneaker girl, so I feel like these are kind of a good compromise for what I was looking for. As I was heading out the door to the gym, I saw that I got in a Wolf Snacks order for Leo. I love Wolf Snacks. If you guys are on Pet Talk at all, you probably know who Celine Tails is, but this is her brand, and we get him stuff regularly from them. So I got him the Blood Dust. He's running low. He only has a little bit left in his bottle, so got a refill, and then he's been out of this one for a little while. This is the quail egg dust. I always want to feed him quail eggs, but I can never find them around here. So I just opt to get this topper from her until I'm able to find a place that actually sells quail eggs in our area. But that is Leo's little haul of what he got in today. Back from the gym, and I'm just gonna have like a little mini lunch at the Trader Joe's soup dumplings. I love these just like for a super quick, it's not even like a full lunch. It's like a little bit bigger than a snack, but not much. I'm just gonna heat this up for 2 minutes. I don't want to go too heavy because I'm still taking Leo on his walk in a little bit, but like I just need a little something after the gym or else I'm gonna be starving. And then I just like to finish my dumplings off with a little bit of soy sauce just sprinkled right over top. It's so funny I'm having dumplings after we just had like all those dumplings this past weekend when Michelle and I went to Mama Lou's. I mean, I don't even remotely expect these Trader Joe's ones to be even a fraction as good as the Mama Lou's ones, but I do get these regularly because they're not bad. I mean, for store-bought soup dumplings, and as someone who used to go to dim sum like every Sunday with my parents, I can attest that just like for a quick dumpling fix, these are really good. So I think the one that I warmed up today was the chicken. Yeah, the chicken, because they were out of the pork last time I went. But super simple, quick, light mini lunch if you're in a hurry, and then like if you wanted to round it out, you could definitely add like a cucumber salad or something to it. It's dinner time, and since it's fall, it is soup season, and I'm trying out a new soup recipe. So for this, just to start for right now, I'm gonna need onion and celery. Yes, these are pre-chopped because that's just how I roll. I'm also gonna need some butter. I'll also need some garlic. That's ginger. That would be terrible. There we go. Garlic and some olive oil. I almost forgot. I also need a leek, which the only thing that I have to prep because I got the celery and the onion already prepped. So we're just gonna chop this up really quick and we'll put everything together. I've got the leek, the onion, the celery, and then the olive oil, garlic, and butter kind of working in here. I'm just gonna let this cook down for a little bit, just for like a few minutes. If I didn't already mention, I'm making a creamy Tuscan soup that I found on TikTok. I'm not gonna follow the recipe exactly. You guys know I never do. I like to take my little additions and shortcuts and stuff, but it looks really good and I'm excited to try this. Just preparing some crushed tomatoes, which will go in next along with broth. I think I still have chicken bone broth, so I can use that. Perfect. Ooh, please don't fall in. That's beautiful. So I've got the broth and the crushed tomatoes in here. I'm just going to cover this and let it come to a boil, then let it simmer for about 30 minutes. Actually, I've decided I want to add in some seasoning, so I'm going to do this Italian seasoning. Still have about 15 minutes left for the soup to simmer, but I've prepped the kale. This is not a necessary step, but I de-stemmed every single piece. For me, it just kind of like ruins the experience a little bit if I like bite into like a thick, hard stem. So I always de-stem my kale whenever I use it, whether it's for soups or for salads. And then I also chopped up the shredded rotisserie chicken. Yes, it was already shredded. I just chopped it up further so that it gets like a little bit more fine. And just both these steps kind of make the soup experience a little bit more smooth. So we've simmered for 30 minutes and now I'm going to put in the cheese tortellini. I got this one from Trader Joe's, but I'm just going to let it cook according to the package in the broth, which is about like 5 to 7 minutes. I'm going to let it cook for about 5 minutes before I put in the kale, the heavy cream, and the chicken. That way I can give those a couple minutes to cook and this won't overcook. So I've got the tortellini cooking in here. I'm going to put the lid back on, and like I said, I'm just going to leave it for about 5 minutes. So at this point, I'm going to put in the kale and the chicken along with a cup of heavy cream, and I did look it up because my grocery store didn't have like direct heavy cream. Heavy whipping cream is essentially the same thing, just don't whip it. And conveniently, there was this little 8-ounce carton, which is exactly a cup. Oh my god, how is it possible that this may not all fit in one pot? I need you to wilt. And then chicken. Wow, it looks so good. It's like a pink soup. But I'm just gonna let it cook for a couple minutes just to let the flavors marry. That is so stunning and it smells amazing. It's such a perfect soup for fall. It's like so hearty and thick. I honestly cannot wait to dig in. Wow, this looks amazing. And you guys already know Parmesan. In her original recipe, you're supposed to actually like cook the broth with a Parmesan rind in it, but that's too fancy for me. I don't have Parmesan rinds lying around, so just topping it off with a ton of Parmesan at the end. This looks positively stunning and you can't convince me otherwise. But I also have the oven going because I'm making myself some mozzarella bread to go with my soup. But since it's going, I figured I might as well finally try this Trader Joe's cookie dough. This is their super chocolatey chocolate chunk. FYI, this apparently does come in gluten-free if that's something that you need, but I'm very excited to try this. It's very weird to me that I'm about to have a cookie that isn't crumble. Here's my little makeshift garlic bread that I made. Trevor got me these marinated mozzarella balls, so I did that on my olive bread, and then there's also a layer of the Trader Joe's garlic spread on here as well. Cookies are baking, but let's go ahead and try the soup. Looks so good. I'm gonna get a bite with tortellini in it. I feel like all my tortellini are hiding. We found one and got a little bit of kale in there as well. Oh my god, that's so good. I wasn't sure what to expect, but this is fire. This is really, really good. Definitely recommend if you're looking for another fall soup recipe. Hey bud, you awake now? He literally passed out here in between the kitchen and the hallway while I was cooking and hasn't moved the entire time that I've been eating. You are so silly. How is this a comfortable spot, buddy? I've had to walk over you like 4 or 5 times. Giving the Trader Joe's cookie dough a try. I made 2 cookies. I'm probably only going to eat 1, but this turned out a little bit of a thinner cookie than I thought it would. Originally I was only going to cook it for 10 minutes because the oven had been on broil beforehand, so I just didn't want it to overcook, but when I kept checking on it, it needed more and more time, so I ended up, I think, cooking it for 13 minutes. Ooh, that's good. Chewy. Just tastes like your classic chocolate chip cookie, but this is gonna be my little late night snack along with these Dots pretzels. I have talked about these pretzels so much. These are like my addiction. I love them. Seriously, guys, if you think you don't like pretzels, go try these. The seasoned original flavor. so amazing. Like, I don't know what is on these pretzels, but they are so good. My mouth's actually like watering as I'm talking about them. I just figured I would do a little balance of salty and sweet to end the night. I don't know what it is. To me, the ones in the individual packs are better than the one in the big bag, but the ones in the big bag are still good. They're just thicker and these ones are thinner. For my preferences, I prefer this. But yeah, these are gonna be my little salty and sweet late night combo. And I'm gonna head off to bed. So I love you guys. Thanks for watching this What I Eat in a Day. We are starting vlog week very soon, so I will see you guys for that because we have special guest stars and a ton of fun things going on. I promise you guys don't want to miss that one.